All right, everybody, so we are on our first walk, kind of quick leash eval with Tillie here. I'll turn the camera on in a second, but I just kind of wanted to go over and explain what I like to do first. And really lesson one is, aside from a switch of tools, so we're gonna fit her with, a properly fitted prong collar, slip lead just in case, and then obviously like a good remote collar. So she's going to be wearing an e-collar technologies remote collar. But lesson one is always to kind of teach the follow or follow me. It's not teaching a focused heel command. It's not teaching loose leash training necessarily. Because what we're going after first is mindset, and we want to start building, a relationship. We want to start building a relationship that's based off leadership. So the follow is the first step in teaching loose leash walking. And then that is going to build into, a really solid heel command. So the steps are important because the obedience isn't the issue. It's the mindset, it's the relevance to the human, because a heel command isn't going to fix mindset, over arousal, excitement, and in Tillie's case, reactivity. So reactivity towards kids, big crowds of people, dogs, rabbits, squirrels, whatever it is. Enforcing a more strict or quote unquote focused heel command isn't the answer. It's going to be letting her explore those options and understanding just natural consequences. So natural consequences of trying to lunge after dogs, after people, after rabbits. And then just continuing to enforce rules, training, but most importantly, communication. So where should she be at any given point during the walk? Does she understand the communication, the rules, the expectations? And then, just using tools to help clarify and strengthen that communication, just so our walks can be more successful for her, but also for her owners. Because right now, the last trainer basically told Tillie's owner, don't walk this dog. You can't walk this dog because the reactivity is so bad to dogs, to rabbits, to whatever. So that's no way I would want to have a dog. So we're going to really focus on that. And I firmly believe that that's not the case. We can get her walking past all these triggers. It's just a matter of clarifying the rules, clarifying the leadership, the structure, but also the communication. It's not just about one tool, because it's, dog training, dog ownership isn't a one size fits all. We're going to develop a certain protocol with her. We're going to implement a set of tools so that when her owner steps out the door, she's got as much leverage as possible so they can have as good of a walk as possible. So that's where we're at. Again, I'm just kind of out doing just some easy follow stuff because I'm expecting her obedience to be really rock solid. She's done tons of group classes. She's done formal obedience training, but what she hasn't had is lifestyle training. She hasn't had leadership training. She hasn't had behavior training. So that's going to be our focus with Tillie. We'll definitely post updates on what we're doing, why we're working on things. You're going to see a lot of work around other dogs and just kind of us explaining what we're doing, why we're doing it, and just helping her develop healthier, calmer, more confident and neutral perceptions about things she doesn't about things that set her off right now. So stay tuned. I mean, I'm not even doing much. I've got a slip lead on her, I've got a remote on her, but I don't have it in my hand because I'm holding my phone. This is just a very simple, I'm just kind of going back and forth and just kind of doing some leash pressure exercises. Again, it's not going to be about teaching a focused heel command. It's just kind of getting her in tune with me and her understanding just kind of how to get into follow mode, because the reality is when dogs aren't in follow mode, they're leading, and that's what gets them into trouble because they're looking for squirrels, rabbits, they're looking for dogs, they're looking for trouble or for things to set them off. So flipping that perception and getting her just to kind of take the back seat, you know, follow me, just chill. I'll advocate. I'll take care of any triggers or anything. I'll create space. I'll do whatever we have to do so that we can have a successful walk. So good. Okay, so day 2, and now we're just working on kind of building off of the work we laid yesterday, just doing a very loose kind of follow me still, but now I'm going to start working that into more of like a structured position. So what I'm doing now is just kind of, I've got a long line, I'm letting her kind of go out to the end of the leash, and I'm doing a couple things. So one is the tone recall. So whenever I press the tone button, she's learned that means come back to me. And then now we're going to start, just because we're, you know, in motion now we're going to start building like a heel position. So whenever she gets a little bit ahead, I'm just going to press my stim button and hold it down until she gets back to my side. So the reason we can kind of build this quickly is because of yesterday, all the work we did on just body movement, spatial pressure, spatial awareness, and body language stuff. So now I just press the button, pressure stays on, boom, turns off there. So this will eventually look more like a traditional heel position. So I'm giving her a little bit more freedom just so she can kind of explore. But, you know, getting in follow mode, which is kind of what she's doing now, this is what I want out of her, because it's not so much a position thing, it's a mindset. So again, just to kind of wrap up this first lesson, all we're teaching Tillie is how to follow this pressure. So the pressure, again, is our conversation now. It's our language. So whenever we deliver pressure, there's meaning behind it. Good job, girl. So first socialization interactive session with Tillie and other dogs. But I want to preface it first, just because there are important steps when working with dogs like Tillie, who are very reactive to dogs. Tillie, right when she saw our dogs for the first time, made it very clear that we have some work to do. She locked on and just lunged very confidently. So the reason I bring this up is because aside from the steps we're going to be taking, I'll talk about that in a second, it is vital. It's so important that before you work on any rehab, whether it's reactivity, jumping, resource guarding, whatever the issue is, you have to stop the unwanted behavior. You have to put a halt to that pattern of dog sees dog, freaks out. Dog sees new person, freaks out. Whatever the situation is, you have to stop that response before you teach something new, something wanted. So, important steps. Tillie is a dog that doesn't have an aggression issue. So her reactivity, her intense, over-aroused response isn't based out of aggression. It's because she's just very under-socialized and she doesn't know how to process seeing a dog and staying composed. So there are steps here because, you know, it's pretty obvious that when she's around dogs after you've extinguished that unwanted behavior, she's a little timid, she's a little unsure, she doesn't have much confidence. So step one is always build confidence through exposure. No interactions. Very simply, can she just coexist around other dogs in the same yard, in the same house? This is the beginning of how we're going to help her develop a more healthy perception of other dogs. So confidence first. Can you coexist? Can you acknowledge and then completely disengage? And with confidence will come curiosity, because we want to honor that. We want to explore that as much as we can, but we don't want to move too fast because we don't want her feeling overwhelmed and reverting back to bad behaviors, old habits. And then from there, just really making sure she understands how to approach a dog the right way. She understands that other dogs might approach her. Obviously, the situations will be controlled, not like a crazy dog park or something, but she has to start learning how to socialize and engage with her own species. So those are the steps we're taking, but again, we're taking it very slow. We're being very intentional and really just helping her develop a healthier mindset. And that's the true rehab work that's going to happen, that we're going to be doing with her. It's not just about her obedience commands, her leash manners, how focused she is on her handler. She needs to explore the world, explore how to hang out with, dogs. She needs to explore that and understand things better so that she gains confidence, certainty, and then, obviously we just want her to be the best version of herself she can. All right, so another component of Tillie's training and her time with us is going to obviously be spent working on household manners, household boundaries, just making sure she understands the rules, not barking at people who knock on the door, ring the doorbell, come in the house, like wandering around, jumping to and from, barking out the window, those types of things. Just very practical things, but exercises we implement so that every board and trained dog really understands the do's and don'ts. So she's got a big response to knocking on the door, someone coming in, hearing someone coming, that type of thing. We witnessed it the other day and kind of learned the hard way. So again, we've got some work to do in this area, but this exercise we're about to start really hits on a lot of pieces. So we're going to be testing, door knocking, that type of thing, making sure she understands what her role is, but also utilizing our remote obedience, off-leash obedience, just so we can kind of move her around the house when these real-world situations happen. So if she's hanging out with her owner, someone knocks on the door, the owner can send her to place, answer the door, and know that Tillie's going to stay put, things like that. So this is an exercise we always do with board and trained dogs. So this is what it looks like. Oh, that's real good. So this response here, the instant perked up thing, that's what we're going to help her repattern. So obviously she didn't bark and break place and run towards the door, which is a good first step because she's understanding that she has to stay, on place. But we want her to really understand when she hears this thing, she can get alerted, and she can be alert, but she also needs to understand that it's not her job to protect or run towards the door and investigate. So as long as she stays put and is able to, stay calm and composed, that's what we're looking for. So that's fine here. And again, if she did give me something I didn't want, so again, this is what we want, making good choices on her own. So if she didn't give me something I wanted, like ears perked up, jumps off place, barking, running towards the door, that would be obviously a big correction with the remote. But since she's already making good choices, we're just gonna kind of roll with this here. So knocking on the door, unlocking, again, just kind of making sure she's doing her job. If I open, even more curiosity there. So obviously ears perked up, really interested. This is the stuff that we're gonna really kind of fine tune. So when I come back this way, door open, you can obviously see outside. Very interested, very curious. Again, she's allowed to be, that's okay, but we wanna make sure it doesn't lead to her making a mistake by jumping off place, growling, barking, that type of stuff. So we'll close this. So eventually, you know, if she isn't on place, someone knocks on the door, place, down, just chill. Then the human can answer the door, hey, how you doing? Come on in, kind of thing, while so even here, she perked up a little bit. I don't know if you're able to see. So all I'm gonna do is, no, down. Good, right, so head down, just chill. That's the conversation there. Good. So back here. So door comes open. Hi, how you doing? Hello. I want to make sure she stays nice and calm. Good. Then I can kind of walk. Again, just continuing to proof the stay part of this, because this is the tough mental discipline, the impulse control, the calmness when the world isn't calm. You know, there's stuff happening. Can she kind of just stay relaxed when stuff is happening? So this is awesome. Good girl. So really just kind of saying, yeah, you know what? Not my job. I'm just gonna kind of chill and, you know, practice being relaxed. Good. Hi, hello. A little bit of interest there. No. Good. So that was just a simple no. And I'm saying no to, you're showing me too much curiosity with when I raise my voice, you know, up high as if I'm welcoming people in. That is a sign. It's a small sign, but that's where the interruption needs to happen. It doesn't need to happen after she's got stuck in that space, and then she's getting more and more excited, more and more curious, and then that leads to her jumping off place going, yeah, what is outside, kind of thing, or who is coming in the door. So stop it early so that we can kind of get back to square one here, which is just chill, nice and calm. So this is also good practice because out of sight, what's the dog doing? I can just kind of test here. So I'm just kind of looking inside, and as I come in, hi, hello. Making sure she stays put. Good girl, hi Tillie, hello. Good. So now we'll do a couple exercises with someone else coming in the house, and I'm just gonna kind of hang out. I'm not gonna like totally micromanage or anything. I'm just gonna, you know, as if this was the real world. I'm just doing my thing. Maybe I'm gonna come and sit on the couch. Someone knocks on the door. Hello? I'm gonna come and get it. Hi.
Hey.
And then just testing. Good job.
Hi.
Okay, so now she's not on place. I'm just letting her kind of do whatever she wants. No leash, just hanging out. Maybe I'm just walking around. Let's see if I come over here. Tillie, come. Place. Good. Now is when you can answer the door. Hi.
Hey.
Come on in. So, opening up the crate, and even a step before this, approaching the crate, this is where I'm setting the tone. So setting the tone meaning, what energy am I creating, interrupting, or influencing? Meaning, how is Tillie coming out of the crate? Is she super excited? Am I allowing that? Is she calm? Am I rewarding that? This is a moment that we often, when we're in a rush or we're just trying to go through the motions, this is a moment where we usually skip over or forget about. So that's how we like to bring it up, just because it's really important, because how she comes out of the crate, her tone, her energy, how much effort she's giving us, excitement, all those things, it matters. So this is where really the training starts in terms of how tuned in with me she is. So as I come up, again, threshold matters, meaning a door open doesn't mean anything. When I'm ready, now I can, Tillie, come. I can bring her out. And again, even now, don't barge past me. Just come to me and follow me. So indoor recall is called the follow. Now I can place, bring her out, put her on place, down. Good. Because now maybe I'm gonna go get her breakfast or her dinner, or I just wanna bring her out of the crate to hang out with her. That's how we do it. It's very controlled, not only for our convenience and less stress, but so we can continue this training and so she can practice impulse control, body awareness, and all these really important things that we want our dogs to be practicing. Tillie, come. Good job. Great. Down. Good. Tillie, come. Good job, girl. Yeah. Very good. Place. Down. Yeah. Good girl. Good. Tillie, come. Nice. Place. Down. Good. Tillie, come. Good. Place. Very good. Down. Good job, girl. Tillie, come. Good girl. Great. Down. Good. So you'll see how, practical these exercises are, because I'm basically just replicating how Tillie's owner is gonna, move her around the house when she goes back home. So in this situation, if she wants to bring her out of the crate, she's got a really productive way to do it, where she's gonna have total control of her energy, which is very important. Same thing moving from place to place. If we're in the living room, one situation or one moment, and then we wanna move to, say, the kitchen or the dining room or the basement or something like that, now we've got a way to do that very productively. So today we are working on some new things. Now that we are at the midway point of Tillie's board and train, so we're entering her third week of 4. Now we're going to start taking all of the things she's learning on campus and moving them to off campus. So today we're going to be specifically working on her recall. So her tone recall, the verbal recall paired with the stim. So I've just got, I'll show you in a sec, but I've just got her long line attached to just like a martingale collar. But the long line is going to be like our backup, just because, again, we don't want to fully be off leash until I can fully trust her. So a good way I like to start this is just like an off leash heel. So she's just dragging the long line, but I've got her just kind of like in a follow. And then what I can just kind of start doing is, okay, Tillie, go potty. Kind of let her go to the bathroom. And then I'm going to be using my tone feature. So tone, when she hears the tone, it means come back to me. So I just tapped the tone. That's my girl. Heel. And I can put her back into a heel position. Good. Okay, go potty. Release her a little bit more. So again, not too far away from me, but now I'm just kind of letting her experience the difference between, you can go explore, use your nose, pee, poo, do whatever. And then when you hear your communication, come back to me. So tone. Good. That's my good girl. Come on. So if you're looking for a difference of, how to really differentiate work versus play, work meaning when we're walking, you're in position, and play meaning, okay, go potty, go explore, you're not in command, this is the best way. Letting her go out, do her thing. And then when she's like a good distance away and she's not like looking at me. So like right now, tone. Yeah, good girl. Walking alongside me. Okay, go on. Good. So I'm just kind of doing quicker check-ins with her, just to really make sure all of this training is still being listened to, so that I can, let her go run out and do her thing, and I can trust that she's gonna come back when I call. So obviously, aside from the tone recall, we can actually just say, her name. Come, Tillie, come. Yeah, good. So I can check in with her that way too. Tillie, come. Good girl. Nice job. Yeah. Okay. Then we can release her, go out and run. Nice job, Tillie. Come on. Good. So this is a really great introduction, essentially, to more freedom, because we're working on, her tone recall, her verbal recall. We're working on some off-leash heel, just kind of some follow me, some check-ins. So all the stuff that's really important, just because regardless of the environment, I just really want to make sure she stays engaged with me. I guess a better word than engaged would just be finds me relevant still, so she still listens, in simpler terms here. Tone recall. Good job. Nice job, Tillie. From the handler's perspective, aside from keeping my eye on Tillie, I'm also just keeping my eye on the environment. So regardless of where I'm at, I'm just making sure that, I'm not interrupting other people, kids. If I see other dogs, I'm creating space. If I see other dogs off leash, I'm exiting and moving on. So just keeping my eyes peeled and staying present, so that I can always, stay on top of her, but also, advocate, create space, and just avoid any, conflict. So, if there's people, that's okay if she's scared, but obviously, I want to be safe and respect other people's, space and all that. So we just kind of tone recall. Let's move on. All right, go. Nice job. Can you hold him there? Tillie, come. Good girl. So yeah, the leash will act as your steering wheel, kind of, what we talked about yesterday, but the bulk of it will be with this thing. So really, you don't have to do much with your leash other than, some occasional steering, but the bulk of the conversation is your remote. Yep, so here's where I would say no and tap my button, because that's where the loading process starts. Loading meaning I see something, now emotionally I'm getting charged up, and then eventually something's gonna happen. So that's a moment where, when we notice the ears, I'm just saying no and tapping my button.
should be more relaxed like that.
Yes. 2, when in doubt, if you're at all concerned about, I don't know if she's staring in a good or bad way, just interrupt it. Because my hunch is going to be it's a bad way, right? So anytime you see those ears and the fixation towards something, especially a dog, no, tap the button. If that no doesn't work, every time you have to repeat it a second, hopefully not a third time, you're up, 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 up. Because what happens is that no, again, kind of starts to, there's not as much value to it. The more you repeat it, that essentially just becomes more of like nagging, as opposed to like, no, I need you to kind of get out of that mindset, right? Yep. Awesome.